I guess a lot of people are wondering where the Australian connection comes in.
Yeah, where'd that come in at?
Where'd that come in? What has Australia got to do with Whitman's, Watson's, Barnett's, Fane's, and all the others whose names I can't remember? 22nd of May 1986 at 6 p.m, a bus turned up at Marina del Rey to pick up a whole bunch of workers from the Department of Beaches and Harbours, Los Angeles County. And on that bus was a lady, a secretary at the department. She'd been there about a month. She didn't want to go that night, but she was cajoled, badgered, and finally convinced to take a trip to the baseball. En route, the bus stopped at the Manhattan Beach Lifeguard Centre in Los Angeles and picked up a whole bunch of LA County lifeguards. The LA County lifeguards were entertaining a whole bunch of Australian lifeguards, so they came along for the ride. On the bus trip, the manager of the Australian team decided he'd better move from the back of the bus where all the lifeguards were doing what lifeguards do, sitting up there drinking beer. He decided to move down to the front of the bus to make himself known to all the other people. That happened. We arrived at the ballpark. We walked into the ballpark and everyone went and sat down. The manager of that team happened to see this secretary and decided she's quite attractive, might go and talk to her. So I decided I'd go and sit down next to my now wife Jackie. And during the course of this baseball game, I fed her beer and peanuts and pestered the life out of her. At the end of the game, we went back to the bus to head off and go home. So I decided I'd sit next to her on the bus and continued pestering the life out of her. When we got back to Marina del Rey to drop all the beaches and harbours people off before we were dropped off, I escorted Jackie to her car and in full view of her boss and to her embarrassment, gave her a little peck on the cheek through the window of the car. That was the meeting point of Jackie Dumas Barnett and Bob Branston. I'd like to go on further on our relationship. You've got to come to the next reunion to hear more. I will say, however, that from that meeting, there was a lot of things happened, but I married the loveliest lady in the world, and I'm very happy to be part of this reunion. I have back home in Australia one brother who is a year older than me. He is married. He has 4 children, 3 sons, Trevor, Tim and Sean, and a daughter Melissa. And all 4 of those have partners, and 3 of them have decided to get married next year. So next year will be a big year for us. But that is my family. I have aunties and uncles, but as far as my own siblings, I have just the one brother and his family. But to all the Whitmans, Waltons, Watsons, Barnetts, Fanes, whoever else is here, thank you for having me in your family, and thank you for putting on a great reunion.